Well, the seasons are changing. That's what the calendar says. But did you know there are other signs of a changing season as summer slips into fall, perhaps more obvious signs, and we'll explore them this week. Hi there, I'm Grant McComey, your host for Travel Oregon's Grant's Getaways. We discover those signs down on the farm where an abundance of locally produced vegetables and fruit are available right now, and we meet a man who gets a kick out of helping us find those farms. Come on along as we learn more about Oregon's Century Farms. You can meet some of the friendliest folks. People like Jerry Frank down on the farm.
And people come from all over because they know that this is fresh and that they're supporting the local community. We're really in eating heaven out here.
Frank's knowledge of Oregon's people and places may be surpassed only by his appetite for locally grown products, like the fresh produce at Easy Orchards near Salem, a family-owned and operated farm that's been in business more than a century.
I will eat 4 to 6 ears of corn for dinner and then have the peaches.
Few can boast of a love affair with their home state that's as deep, long-lasting, and passionate as Frank's. That much is certain when you thumb past the cover of his new book titled simply Jerry Frank's Oregon.
It's stores and restaurants and hotels and attractions and interesting lore about the various communities and places for kids to go and all of that stuff.
The sort of stuff that's been Frank's bread and butter in his Sunday newspaper travel column and his radio TV reports through the decades. He's an Oregon man for all seasons, whose roots reach back 7 generations, linked by birth and profession to the famed Meyer and Frank retail business. But he says it was his 26 years with Senator Mark Hatfield's staff that put him in touch with the people of his home state.
We hit every nook and cranny in the state of Oregon, so yeah, I got to know Oregon very well.
So no surprise, some of his favorite places are the unchanged, timeless corners of Oregon.
The southwest corner, I love that drive down the southwest Oregon coast from Bandon south to Gold Beach, my favorite part of the state. The uniqueness of it, the beauty, the natural beauty that God's given us, that drive down that coast, there's nothing in the world like that.
Frank is also self-proclaimed chocolate-aholic, sole judge of the chocolate cakes competition at the Oregon State Fair the past 53 years. His popular restaurant in Salem, Cundy Derived, is where pastries, cakes, and pies rule the counters. But these days, book signings rule the dining area, and Jerry couldn't be more proud. He hopes the new book prompts many to say, "Gee, Jerry, I didn't know that."
That's the most satisfying part of this whole experience. Where did you find that, Jerry?
And that takes us to what Jerry calls one of the most interesting and least known Oregon State Parks heritage programs, called Century Farms, at places like Baughman's Farm near Woodburn.
A farm that has been operated by the same family for more than 100 years. And when Century Farms, like the Baughmans, invite you to come out, they're trying to share with you some of the strong values that come with tradition of being close to the land.
This is where the Baughmans started farming in the Northwest.
Brian Baughman is 4th generation in a family that began farming the same land in 1895.
They want to know if it was picked that morning or the morning before. Did they come in? Was the corn picked today? Yes, it was picked today, which is great.
They grow scores of fruits and vegetables across hundreds of acres, produce that makes its way into the family's full-service market shortly after harvest.
To say that we've been doing something for 100 years definitely demonstrates that we know what we're doing, we're good at what we're doing. Alberta's today. If that wasn't the case, we still wouldn't be doing it. My name is on that product. I want to make sure that it's good, and we're going to make it right.
They offer the opportunity to put a face with that experience on a farm. Most of the time people just see farms as they drive past. You can talk with family members, and so it's a great way of getting to know people who are intimately involved with agriculture.
Jerry Frank couldn't agree more and enjoys putting us in touch with uniquely Oregon people, places, and activities. You just love Oregon.
I do.
You're like a cheerleader for Oregon.
No, I do. I love this place. It's all very well to have a lot of it, but it's so good. That's the important thing.
Oregon Parks and Recreation Department folks tell me that in 1958, when the Century Farms program began, there were 400 farms designated as such. Today, more than 1,400, and they range across the entire state. Jerry Frank's Oregon is now widely available, and in case you're wondering, he tells me the word retirement is not in his vocabulary. Aren't we lucky? You can find all the details, directions, and the contact information on the Travel Oregon website, so check it out. Until next week, get out here and explore the great Oregon outdoors and let Travel Oregon be your guide. For Travel Oregon, I'm Grant McColmy.